Regardless of how far America has come, we will always have far to go. America's original sin was slavery, and may be doomed to continuously repeat the same mistake again with homosexuals. The institution of marriage is recognized by the federal and state government, but is defined to exclude a segment of society from the benefits of that institution. Homosexual couples should be given the opportunity to participate in marriage and all the joys and sorrows that come with it. Our society is governed by laws, and these laws impact certain rights and abilities to its citizens. The Defense of Marriage Act, passed in September 1996, defines marriage as a legal union between one man and one woman, as husband and wife. Marriage is by no means a right, but it is an institution. It is a unique institution in America because it grants a specific segment of our society benefits and opportunities from the government that would otherwise not be available if a couple were not married. With the current federal definition of marriage, homosexual couples would be excluded from the benefits and opportunities of having their union recognized as a marriage. There are currently over 1,049 federal laws that have some effect with the status of marriage. An estate tax law, for example, would be one of the biggest boons for married individuals. The estate tax law allows for individuals to give large sums of money back and forth without having to pay taxes on them. This benefit would be denied to homosexual couples because they are not recognized as marriages. Health issues also arise when a homosexual couple decides to live together. In a time of incapacitation, the homosexual spouse cannot make medical decisions because these rights are only granted if a couple is married. Visitation rights are also denied. In the case of the administration of an estate, without a will, the homosexual couple is not protected by their heterosexual counterparts. The law grants the spouse preference in inheritance in absence of a will. Without this protection, the estate is in question and may go to the state or the federal government. This is just a small list of the many rights that are automatically granted to couples that are recognized by the legal institution of marriage. According to the last census in 2000, 1% of all couples in the United States were homosexual. The calculation is about 594,391 couples. 1 million people are being denied rights that we grant to others currently with the institution of marriage. These are federal rights that provide benefits to families and couples. They also make it easier to administer and operate a household that is created for mutual habitation. When is the number big enough for you to say that it should not stand as acceptable anymore? It does our country an injustice if we unevenly apply rights to a certain group but deny another. Many people will also say that providing marriage rights to homosexual couples is an assault on the institution of marriage. How can a group of people actually assault an institution? What are heterosexuals afraid of? I'm not living in fear. I'm not sitting in my home waiting for some homosexual guy to come to my house and assault my wife and I. That's just absurd. In fact, as a matter of fact, American society is destroying marriage on its own. In 2005, the marriage rate declined 7.5%, even though the population increased 2.5%. The number of marriages that end in divorce is about 50%. The rate is only a small decline, but to keep it simple, half of all marriages that are started end in separation. There were 2,230,000 marriages in 2005. If 1% of those marriages, based upon the figure generated by Emilio Guerrera, were gay marriages, that would be 22,300 more divorces if all the gay couples that got married got divorced. It is such a small percentage of the entire group of marriages, it cannot possibly have a greater impact than the actions of heterosexual couples on the institution of marriage. The idea that gay marriage will undermine the institution is rooted in the religious idea or the religious reasons behind marriage. Marriage is a religious ritual performed by a priest in the presence of God and family. It is a commitment to one another sanctified and sealed by God. The idea of two people of the same sex being together in religious backgrounds is considered an abomination. The validation of that union by a government then would desanctify the holy aspect of marriage. We are a country with a Christian history. That is undeniable. Over time, our country has become more and more secular. It is stated in our Constitution that there should exist the separation of church and state. Our government, being secular, excludes the religious argument, which gives no grounds for banning gay marriage on the basis that it is going to collapse or marginalize the institution of marriage. The above reason is why I feel that gay marriage has such a hard time being passed. The religious morality is not a bad one. Love thy neighbor, do not steal, do not commit adultery, are some commandments given in the Bible, all desirable traits of citizens in a great society. These moral values that have been imbued in our society is what makes the U.S. the most charitable country in the world. I can understand where the defense of marriage comes from, because religious people will view marriage of homosexuals as a sacrilege to the sanctity of the institution. Letting government get involved with marriage in the first place was the biggest mistake any religious organization could make. Leave it separate. Why have government recognize or do anything in regards to it? I understand that government wants to promote it, but why not promote the institution for all? When will the rest of America wake up and give this segment of society the right to legally marry? Homosexuals are already put under extreme pressure just by being who they are. They have to deal with prejudices against who they are on a daily basis. They are treated with disdain by some, revulsion by others, and sometimes are even physically harmed. Why does our government, that is supposed to protect our freedoms, not provide equal rights to its citizens? Why repeat the same types of injustices of unequal rights that caused much civil strife during the civil rights movement? There are many discrepancies in what married couples receive as far as rights are concerned versus what non-married couples may receive. The conservative nature of our country also tries to maintain a lockdown on the marriage institution with flimsy rhetoric that is not backed by facts but by feelings. The law of the United States is not based on feelings but facts and proofs, which there are none to justify the denial of marriage for anyone.